Howdy, I'm Richard Mann. This is my eldest son, Isaac David Mann. And behind me stands what's left of a stone house that my fourth great-grandfather, that's great-great-great-great-grandfather Thomas S. Lynch, built in the fall of 1866. He built it with his wife, Lavina Ann Fraser Lynch, and their adult children. And I believe their eldest son, John, lived in the stone house down the street, but I can't prove it. Now, this was here from 1866 until March of 2021, when some methamphetamine addicts, either by accident or out of amusement, decided to burn the property to the ground. Everything but the stone framework burned. And it's a sad deal. Because they're a prominent local family, they weren't arrested, they're not going to be prosecuted, nothing's going to happen. Except that a house that stood for 150 years is taken away. I'd like to find out who owns this place and buy it. But that's just me. Thomas had 6 children, I believe, right off the top of my head. Eldest being my third great-grandmother, Sarah Catherine Lynch Allen. She was born in Clinton County, Iowa in 1841, married in Clinton County, Iowa in 1861, and died right over the hill in late 1871. She died from tuberculosis, or what they called consumption. Her son, Thomas McClellan Allen, married a local girl who just moved here from Kentucky, Coralina Angeline Grinstead. They married in October of 1888. She gave him 3 children, then she died of tuberculosis, consumption, in 1894. She's buried just a few feet from her mother-in-law, and a few more feet from the Lynches. My eldest son is also buried there, just about 1,500 yards that way. When Lena Allen died, my second great-grandfather, Thomas Allen, took his boy and his father, Jesse Bennett Allen, who was also a widower, and they went to western Nebraska and later on Colorado. Thomas's daughter, Thomas McClellan Allen, who was named after his grandfather, Thomas Lynch, who built this house. Thomas Allen's daughter, Helen Grinstead Allen, is my great-grandmother. She married a man named Charlie Mann. She was reared right here in Humboldt by relatives, married here in, I think she married in Fall City in 1910. They moved to Lincoln in 1925, her and Charlie. Then in 1941, they went on to Long Beach, California. Charlie died there. Actually, in Long Beach, he worked as he worked in the shipyards as a toolbox checker. He worked for 20 years. Worked until he was 80. And they retired to a little town north of Los Angeles called Lancaster, where Charlie died in 1960, and then Helen died in 1978. Their son, my grandfather, Robert Mann, died out there in 1979, just a year after his mother. So I've got a lot of ties. Let's start right here in this house. I make these videos and I cite all this boring genealogy for my child, my children. I've got 4 of them, 2 boys, 2 girls. I also make it for their children, and their children, their children. So I'm sorry you're bored, if you are. This just absolutely breaks my heart. There's no reason for this. This was a viable house just 2 years ago. Right now it's August of 2022, and it's hot as all get out. I look at this house, I just want to cry. I see the brick arches. I see the the burn marks. They had a porch. I got pictures of this house with a porch on it. The handheld videos are terrible, but I might take some just so I have it. So bear with me. I'll try to make it as still as possible. Alright, there's my boy. Be careful now. Snakes, broken glass, any kind of thing that's could hurt you. You hear a rattle, you just jump back, buddy. These grass areas are prime real estate for rattlesnakes.
I didn't know they had rattlesnakes here.
They got a lot of rattlesnakes here.
I thought they only had rattlesnakes in the desert.
No, sir. They got them all over this country.
Oh my!
Eastern diamondback, western diamondback, and they don't like to be messed with. That's why I like to make as much noise as possible. Last time I walked up there on that, it was the springtime. They weren't out yet. I wouldn't dare walk up there now. Look at that. I don't know if I can. It's not you. I like to rebuild. You know that? You could use that as a foundation, build a house, dig a basement. I don't know. Make a modern house. I don't know. You can see where they had somebody added on something to the back. 150 years, they probably added bunches.
Thank you for tuning in to Richard's Rants, Raves, and Reviews today.